Thank you. How are we all? Excited? Yes. Great. I got told by a very dear friend and wise friend that anxiety and excitement has scientifically been proven to be exactly the same thing. It's just how the thoughts we're having at the time as to what the outcome is. So I've got to tell you that I'm exceptionally excited right now. FasterEFT, what's it done for me? I didn't have any of the aha moments that some people have, but then you might disagree with me after I finish. I've been tapping for quite a while, and you turn things around, whatever, and then I can't remember what actually led me to it on the particular day that I did, but it was standing in front of a mirror. I'm going to ask all of you, can you stand in front of a mirror and honestly say to that image that's looking back at you, I love you, or I even like you? Because I couldn't. I didn't particularly like myself. And thinking back, it probably stems back to childhood. I had a cousin. I wanted to be like my cousin. My cousin was an only child. And he had all the sorts of things that I wanted to have. So really what I was an ungrateful, selfish little bastard. But anyway. And I come from a family of 5. I'm the youngest of the family. My oldest brother's 17 years older than me. And my closest sibling, my sister, is 8 years older than me. And so I was, and she was an afterthought. So I don't know what that makes me, but anyway, it's way down the track. And my mum, after she'd had my sister Flora, had postpartum depression. And back in those days, that was when they hooked you up to the 240 power lines, and she was in a psych centre for 12 months. So when she found out she was pregnant with me, it must have been horrific. But anyway, moving on from that, and I also born very late in life, so I always wanted to be like the other kids that had a young mum and dad and whatever, and I had old parents that were more in line with my friends' parents that were grandparents, I mean. So I always wanted to be somebody else, and I couldn't be. And I always wanted to be popular, and I always wanted to be the charismatic kid that the other kids gathered around. And through school, I finished up as president of the SRC of the school. I was the school sports captain, and all of that was wanting to be accepted by the rest of the kids. And even though I got all those things, I wasn't accepted. Well, I was by the kids, but not by me. And so it moved on, and then that led into professional life. You know, I finished up by default in an abattoirs as a labourer, and I wanted to be a slaughterman. So I became a slaughterman, because slaughtermen's in the abattoirs, they were the gods. The big money and whatever. So anyway, I got there. I was one of them. I was the youngest. I think I was probably the youngest in Australia, because you had to be 18 to hold a ticket to be a slaughterman. And I was 17. And then at 22, they made me the representative of employees to management, or the union delegate. And and I was. I came from like the blue bloods, liberals, so and the meat industry was very, very militant, and but I was on the other side. I was on the boss's side, sort of thing. So when everybody else was on strike, we were working, and but I still wasn't seeing myself as being accepted by anybody else. I was different. I was doing things quietly on the side. Started off, I did transcendental meditation. And that wasn't the sort of cool jock stuff that I did. Like, the other side of me that everybody else saw was smoke, drink, did all the things that what Robert calls jocks, we just call blokes. And so TM did that. Didn't really practice it that long, but it was there. And then somewhere on the track, Reiki came in. I became a Reiki master. And then I did. I think it was EFT or whatever that you came up, did a course. And then there was this FasterEFT weekend that Di came up to, and I remember being at home. Di rang me up and said, there's this DVD thing that they've got, some collection. It's $1,200. Can I buy it? Yeah, whatever. And Di had come home with that, and that's when this bloke sort of moved into our house. And took over my lounge room and a roundabout in TV. And then they offered a hypnotherapy. Tad James Company offered a hypnotherapy course here in Adelaide, and I came along, learned about hypnotherapy, and also gave up smoking at the same time. So that was a bonus. I sort of got a win-win out of that. But what they were doing at the time with the hypnotherapy was actually subconsciously hypnotic suggestions, and an outcome of that was I turned up to do NLP, and finished up as a practitioner of NLP, and that was hard yakka. And I'd signed up to do the master prac and paid my $800 deposit, and that's when I came home and Diane had that bloke on the TV that I was talking about, and I was watching it, and I recognised what he was doing. I reckon this was timeline therapy, this is NLP, this is hypnotherapy, this is automatic suggestions, and all the things that was going on, and it just was so smooth, so seamless, and so easy. And I thought, this is great, we've got to do it. So then Robert came back to do the FasterEFT. Di did that first week course, and I came to the weekend. That was the weekend, I reckon, that Scott starred in, and then 12 months later I came back and I did the level 1, and it went on from there, and level 2. So back to the person that was standing in front of the mirror that didn't really like himself. And so I tapped on that and worked through it, and all the ways, like I realised that I was a chameleon. I wasn't me. I wasn't being true to myself. I wasn't being congruent with what I actually believed, but I was whoever anybody else wanted me to be, and I had lots of, I have lots of friends. I had a lot of respect. I've been town council. I've been on all sorts of committees. I've been in a state major organisation, and never ever been settled. And it wasn't until I recognised that I didn't like who I was. Once I dealt with that, all the rest of it went away, and I recognised that I could be me, and I didn't have to be who else I thought everybody else wanted me to be. I was actually a better person for them by being me, and I didn't have to pretend anymore. And that was a pretty great gift to be able to have, and so that's what FasterEFT has done for me. And on the side of it, it's been the people that I've helped as well while I've been doing it. Like I just told one bloke, one of Robert's DVDs, 426, I think it, or 427, how to tap the EFT style. As an Indian man that I said just, you have a look at this, go through it. And this guy had actually studied psychology, and he rang me up a week later and said, whatever happens, because he was actually looking at buying my business, he said, whatever happens in my life, whether it goes ahead and I buy it or not, I'm going to be forever indebted to you for showing me or telling me to watch that DVD, because it's changed my life and it's made me a better person with my family. And there's other stories like that, and I'm sure all of you that are practicing have got stories like that. And that's the sort of stuff that is coming out of this. And Robert has just been fantastic. So I'd like to welcome Robert to continue teaching all of us, reaffirming what we've been learning over the years, and for the rest of you that are here for the first time, it is just a sensational thing that Robert's given us. Thank you.
L is for the wind.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to have some really hard rock when I walk up now. Simply the best. Yeah. Well, we definitely are the best, and we're becoming better every day. Of course, this whole seminar this week is about how to solve your own problems, definitely learn how to like yourself, and also how to process information in a way that's beneficial for you.